Welcome into the ATB show. We are at atbshow.com. You're finding us right now, obviously, at beautiful downtown YouTube. atbshow.com will give you all of the links where you can find all of the things. The Rubber Shoes Wrap Up and Rant on every possible social medium right now, every morning. And there's so much going on. Adam is normally sitting where he is. I'm normally here. We're under construction, apparently. I didn't know the main studio and the LA studio are under construction. We got Scotty's moved because ceiling tiles are moved. What happened, Scotty? What's going on?
I could have sat there, but you would have just seen. So I have a drop ceiling, as you could tell.
Yeah.
So I have a drop ceiling. So
it's where he hides the drugs. Keep going.
Yeah, it's true. Yep. It's too light for the dead bodies. Those are in the way back because I've got lots of land.
He's got 7 acres, by the way, too. That's where the dead bodies are.
Yeah, no graves.
How many acres do you have?
About 2.75.
Okay.
Is the pool in yet or no?
So that's what's happening. So the pool has started today. So we have a very we have a big.
You said that to be a dick, and you were right.
Yeah, circular ground. We have a big circle of dirt. Essentially, that's all we have, like dug into the ground. But Stevie's doing the wiring for the electrical, and to save us some cash. And so he's coming in through the garage because that's what my panel is. And so we took all like these ceiling tiles like up, and so it looks like someone just shot my ceiling essentially. So I was like, I'll just move over here, thinking it would be an easy setup, but it's really not. I have like 3 pillows behind me because my couch is like deep. And if I was going to sit like all the way up like this the entire time, I would have been annoying and my legs would have fallen asleep. But, I also didn't want to be like,
you don't want to have.
I didn't want to be far away. So.
Like we're doing the show from Kowloon in one of those booths.
Yes.
Slump back.
But Drool would have been involved in both places, I guess. Yeah.
Sure. And Rubber Shoes, what is happening?
Finally, the painting is getting close to be started.
Go full screen. We got it. Can we go full screen on him?
Yep. I demand a tour because
she's already started doing the cut in.
So are you going to, there's so much stuff, or I believe there is so much stuff in the Rubber Shoes room, the rubber room, that you have to move everything into the center and put a shroud of Turin over the top or something, don't you? To make sure.
3/4 of the shoe box is out to the front room. Some other stuff.
The biggest job is moving the stuff. It's not even painting.
Yeah.
Painting's easy.
And I want the dimensions of that room. It looks like a small room, but you have so much there.
Is small.
It's a 12. I'm guessing 12 by 10.
Probably less.
Oh,
Wow.
Might be 10 by 10.
okay.
No kidding. 10 by 10.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm interested in is,
I
what do
want
you
Steph
use
to come in with the tool belt on, right? The hat on backwards with like paint on her face.
Yeah.
She's probably got a laser. She's got like a laser reader. She could tell us exactly how big that room is.
Yeah.
But what do you use to hang on the walls, Rubber Shoes? It looks like a lot of paint has been ripped off the walls, taking things down.
Well, no, that's
holes patched. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, holes patched. But some of them are, so this over here, that was those
The
3M strips.
Yep.
Yeah, they just pulled it off.
The paint off.
Yeah,
they work really well.
Because actually they do work well when you use them the proper way. I didn't take some of them off the proper way, and now you just rip the paint off.
The show writes itself. Keep going.
Yeah, my wife showed me how to do it properly.
God bless her. Right.
So has anyone checked out the YouTube channel at all this week?
I wanted to say, I'm glad you asked, because I wanted to bring up that I thought the jersey shorts are great. I love the jersey shorts.
Yep.
Have you seen this?
Jersey of the day. Yep.
Jersey of the day. Rubber Shoes is doing a jersey of the day for our ATB channel. And was it today or yesterday was the Boston Marathon Red Sox shirt?
Yeah, that was yesterday. Yeah.
I liked it. I didn't actually
going through all the Red Sox jerseys right now first.
Can we get through a calendar year without you having a repeat?
Yes.
No, I don't think I have that many.
No?
I don't believe that.
Maybe a half a year. I'm thinking half a year, maybe.
He'd have to go to the storage unit. Did you see him in Tingsboro? He's in Tingsboro at the storage unit going live.
Damn it! I gotta find another one. It's only 364 days.
Steph thinks it's only gonna last like a couple weeks. I'm like, you don't know how many hockey jerseys I have.
Yeah, this is probably not good for the marriage. Yeah, Steph's gonna be like,
Oh
"Where are
my
you
God.
going?"
Wait a minute. How many do you have?
He's upstairs in his mother-in-law's second closet.
So it's been 4 so far, and I have at least 2. Oh no, wait, I've done 5 Red Sox jerseys so far.
Now, my question is, there's been a lot of Rubber Shoes content put up on the ATB Show YouTube channel, which is great. More content, the better, I think. And the jersey one is great. I loved it. What are you doing all day that you have time to do like 5 different ATB Show shorts that you put up on the YouTube channel?
I do all those. So I get up at 4 o'clock. I get to the bike path at 4:30.
God bless him.
Gym at 5 or a little after 5. Get home probably around 6:15.
Right into hair and
Record
makeup.
record everything. Take my shower and I'm out the door a little after 7. And that's record everything, post everything.
Oh my God, you're a
Believe me,
machine.
I'm running around.
That is bananas, dude. I'm
everything
barely
done, yeah.
up by 7. If I'm up
Yeah.
by 7. Wow.
Yeah, my morning is sleep well past 4.
Oh.
Stay asleep past 5. Wake up around 6 to a toddler slapping me in the face, and then from there, just fumble around the coffee maker for a little bit, make her breakfast, and get her to daycare around, I'd say, 8 o'clock. So
Yeah, I did notice there were
my
no
morning does not
Scotty
sound
ATB
nearly as
shorts.
awesome.
No shorts from Scotty. I did notice that.
No,
No shorts from anybody.
Yeah, no.
Oh, the judgment.
I have short
the
people. That's
judgment.
why. I have short people. That's why.
Short people. So do I. I mean, mine are a little taller than yours, but yeah, they're still short. There is a lot of judgment coming from Hollywood Square number RS.
They're not enumerated. They're not enumerated.
No, that's true.
Pretty amazing if they were.
We need to get the. We didn't get the AAA work trucks thing in yet, though. So we need.
We
to
do
do
need
that.
to get, yes, our dear friends from AAA Work Trucks who are now moving into football season. What do the company seats look like for that?
They don't have anything for
Yet.
football.
Oh.
Yet. Or no,
They-
honest conversation.
no.
They just haven't told them. After,
Only 8 games, man. There's only 8 games.
No football, no hockey.
after the steak tip debacle of 22, they're not gonna.
Well, speaking of,
Here we go.
I'm going to the season ticket Celtics gala tomorrow night at Encore.
Oh wow.
Boston. Steph and
course
I,
you are.
because everyone above me couldn't go, so
How
Do
far
need-
down the
do they
totem
need any
pole are you?
clerical work done?
well, it's so the season tickets. They're under Joey's uncle's name.
Uh-huh.
So he couldn't go. Then Joey and Leslie couldn't go. Then the kids couldn't go. Then so Marty, whose dad has a season ticket, he also works at AAA. He couldn't go. So then it was us.
You're like Steve Wozniak. You're employee number 1 at Apple.
Oh, I'm like, I'm the first non-relative.
Whoa! There
Wow.
it is. Yeah, we got to the bottom of it. There it is. He's the Woz. He's the Woz. I love it. He's the
first
rubs.
non-relative.
The rubs.
That's amazing.
You were with them when they were doing trucks out of the garage, dude.
Yep. Yes. Unbelievable.
I was there pre-expansion. Yep.
I bet.
I've been.
That was the most
right.
Massachusetts explanation, though. It was Joey's uncle's tickets,
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
got the thing. I'm
It's
like,
the genealogy of Christ. Yep. Yep. It's fine. We
So
love it.
employees there,
quarterback
I've been
like
there
my
the
ex-
third longest out of all
Wow.
the employees.
That includes family.
Well, one family member's been there the longest, then my sales manager's been there second longest, than me.
Okay.
So our dear friends at AAA Work Trucks, go ahead, Rubber Shoes.
Yes, this is brought to you by AAA Work Trucks, your one-stop shop for all your work truck needs. If it goes in or on a vehicle, it's a good bet AAA can take care of it for you. Give them a call at 866-783-6222 or check them out online at aaaworktrucks.com.
If you put it on the teleprompter, he will read it.
One thing I didn't catch was the AAA work trucks tag is not on the shorts. We don't have time for that, right?
No, it's just trying to get
Too
them
long.
out.
He's getting it
Yep.
under the rope. Yes.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good.
That
They get
so
the,
the
they get the masterpiece that is the weekly show.
the
Everything
short
else.
I put out on Saturday pre UFC. I think that was like, I mean, I look at other views on the shorts and they're like, thousands, but I was pretty excited when I hit over 200.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's
How
amazing.
was that? You guys were there, yes?
No, we didn't go.
I thought you were there.
So the last row of the balcony was before fees and taxes was $430
Are you kidding me?
Unreal.
a ticket. Yeah.
What?
So
That's robbery.
I told Tyler, I don't think we're gonna make it there. We can watch it from our couch.
Rubber shoes. You could have gone to 2 Taylor Swift concerts for that amount of money.
Not really.
No, not really.
Not in decent seats. Did Joe and Leslie like Taylor Swift? That's the question.
Tyler had checked the right by cage side.
Mm-hmm.
They were going over 10 grand.
Unreal.
What?
Yeah.
Who is paying this amount of money for these
People
things?
who love
Was this at
UFC.
the Garden?
Joe Mazzulla was there.
Oh, jeez.
Rob Nikovich was there.
Yeah.
There actually wasn't a lot of Boston sports stars that they didn't show on TV at all. But there was a lot of UFC fighters in the.
Was it at the Garden? I don't
second
even
row.
know.
Yeah, TD Garden. Yep.
Oh, okay. I don't get into it. Sorry.
Yeah, it was really good. But it's I mean, for the money, if you have the money to spend, there's like 15 to 20 fights so
On the card,
like,
yeah.
it's definitely, I don't know, worth the money, but
It's like $40. That's
there's
like
enough
$40
there.
a fight.
yeah.
That's bananas. What's the pay-per-view? $20?
85.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Well, it's on ESPN.
That's if
then-
you have ESPN Plus.
Yeah, it's on
You don't have
ESPN, then
ESPN
ESPN
Plus,
Plus, then it goes to ESPN Plus pay-per-view.
Oh
Yeah.
my god!
So the early
can't
card
do
is
it.
on ESPN. Then if you have ESPN Plus, the middle card. Then for the main event, you have to go pay-per-view for that.
Hey, yeah.
So it's like when back in the day when Tyson was fighting, those pay-per-views were outrageously expensive for the time. Now, if you
Yeah.
compare them, they're not.
Yeah,
that expensive.
$49.95.
And the thing is-
And remember they changed that. And they switched it, and they went to $10 a round. Do you guys remember that?
Oh, I
because he
don't
was
remember
knocking
that, no.
people out. He was knocking people out so
Right.
quickly.
Oh,
when
wow.
you
No
bought
kidding.
it, you were charged $49.95, and if it ended in any of the earlier rounds, they chopped it back and charged you just $9.99, $10.99, or $19.99, so forth and so on.
That would never happen in 2023.
No, not anymore.
It was like 3
$85.
seconds. They'd be like $85. It's 3 seconds.
$85.
Doesn't matter.
Yep.
Yep.
Unbelievable. Scotty, do you
Wow.
watch that stuff? Do you watch it?
No. It's too bad actually when you were just talking about the Tyson thing. I used to love boxing. I used to love
Yeah,
watching
boxing.
and it
A
was
lost
so much
art.
fun because there were so many great stars to watch and follow, and
Not
it's
anymore.
just completely fallen off the
Yep.
cliff. Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Well,
terrible. now.
there are stars out there. They just all the promoters won't put them up against the other stars because they're not getting a cut of the money and they
Yeah.
don't want their fighter to lose.
exactly. Yeah,
And
So it's just
it's
disappointing.
all a money crush, I mean, Pacquiao, Mayweather should have happened, 7-8 years ago.
Right.
And
Is
instead, you got
Pacquiao
them
in
both.
politics now, or
He was the mayor of the Philippines, I think. or
yeah,
something
that's
like
what I
that, or
thought.
The president
Governor or
or
something. Yeah,
Yeah, governor. Yeah.
crazy.
Mayor of the Philippines. Yes.
Mayor
Mayor
McCheese of the
Mayor
Philippines.
McCheese of the Philippines.
Well, it's so funny that you bring that up. So Rubber Shoes, one of the guys here at the office was in Portland and ran into, and I'm going to forget his last name, Bobby, who's the commissioner for the Golden Gloves in Lowell, because Pete was getting out of his car and paying the meter, and he had his Golden Gloves hoodie on. So Bobby came over and he's like, "Hey, the gloves, blah blah." And he's like, "I'm in charge of that down in Lowell." And they started talking, and he actually told Pedro a couple of days ago that they always try to bring in some cool guest, whether they're going to come in and do like a sparring fight or just make a visit. And the rumor is they're going to try to get Pacquiao to make a visit this year.
Wow.
Which is pretty cool.
Tyson 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
Tyson
Is
went.
that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
That's
pretty
incredible.
cool.
Well, so I was at the fire station yesterday, and then on one of our calls, we ran into Mickey Ward.
No.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
I hope.
No,
That's
he
not
wasn't. He lived on the street.
Oh, okay. Okay. Fire up the cameras. Fire up the cameras.
Get the TMZ ready. Get TMZ ready.
Oh, no.
Hey,
my
you know,
God.
it links at Outlook in South Burke. We had Jim Belushi.
When?
Two or 3 days ago. Yeah, 2 or 3 days ago, he was there.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing.
It was really
kidding.
cool. Yeah, it was pretty great.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
I missed him by like.
Well, it
2
is
days.
vacation
Yeah,
land,
Sunday.
so you know.
It is.
So,
Maine,
I'm
the
sure a
way,
lot
the
of
way life should be.
vacationers are up there. Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Yep.
I question before we move on to the spots. Is Uncle Stevie meandering around right now working, and he's off the clock?
No, he's off the clock. They're all off the clock at this point. So
Okay.
the big hole of dirt's right over here, and everyone's off the clock right now. So he's.
What is our ETA on the pool, Scotty?
So typically it takes about 3 to 4 days, and it'll be done. The problem is it's going to rain on Friday, so
Ah,
it's probably that's no pun intended. It's a wash, so they probably will not work on Friday. So most likely we're looking at Monday because they don't work Saturday or Sunday.
so will you get any swimming time in the pool
Yeah.
this summer?
So we added the heater to the package.
Oh, you
so
said that.
We weren't
That's right. You
we
said
weren't
that,
going
yeah.
to, but then we added the heater so that we could get at least September and then maybe a week in October or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, depending on yeah. But
Well, that'll be fun.
we'll see how it goes. Yeah. Yeah, it'll be good.
Interesting.
I hope. It better be. It's costing us a lot of money.
Yeah, those aren't
Better
cheap.
be
Those are not
freaking amazing.
Better be awesome. It better be.
It's a,
Now,
it's a
here's-
fraction of a cost of a in-ground pool.
How
It
many
is. Yeah, no.
strawberry floats will you have floating
that was
around in
my.
the
Thank
pool?
you, Adam. Thank you. Go right ahead.
Over under is 0.
Oh!
Over under is 0. No, the strawberry floats are going to stay in Lowell.
Wouldn't that over-under be half?
It's fine.
I-
0.
You got to go under would be 0, over would be 1 or more.
I don't.
I think it was the point of it. Rubber shoes. I don't.
Because
think
if you
we're trying
bet
to be
0,
accurate.
then it's a wash. You got to have that half in there, so the
All right, over under is
casino
half. then.
the casino
Over-under is
gets
half.
some money out of it.
Yeah, there you go.
Adam, while they're busy talking, quite honestly, Scotty's more of a banana guy. Yeah.
Big
I
banana
can
boat
see.
guy.
I can see him.
Banana
I can see him throwing a leg over a potassium stick any day. Yeah.
We need a YouTube shot of that.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen.
Fruit
Once
salad.
we actually
Fruit
have water,
salad.
not just a big.
Hey, it's wide open for you, Adam, to do some WNBA shorts.
I'm
Oh,
looking for.
yes.
I'm going to. I'm gonna fire it up as
Yes.
soon as the girls go back to school.
Yes.
Playoff. We'll be doing some playoff WNBA shots.
Shots. Always. We talking about training camp, or we talking about the Red Sox booking tea times? What are we doing? Where are we going?
Let's go.
would say-
Let's go Patriots.
I would
Let's-
say
we
start
gotta
with
go
the Red Sox.
Patriots. A
Do
little
you want to go
optimistic.
positive, negative first?
Yeah, exactly. Let's go positive first. Let's go Patriots first.
All right.
I think the Patriots are going to be second in the AFC East. Are we doing predictions today? Is that?
Oh,
or
when
is
are we
that
doing
on-
predictions? Are we going now?
No, it's
Or is it another
would
week?
think.
We're doing predictions
next week.
next week. Okay,
predictions
all right. But
next week.
anyways,
Okay.
I think we're in good shape. I think I know, despite how the Packers the game against the Packers ended, obviously, terrible situation. I think they made the right call on that, especially since it was a preseason game and everything. But I thought that Mac looked okay. The rest of the team looked pretty good. I think we're going to be in good shape, actually. So I'm excited about it.
They
Biggest
took him
takeaway-
out when he started getting killed because of the horrible offensive line, and that.
Yeah, that's the biggest takeaway so far is that the offensive line needs the most work. Out of all between special teams, defense, offense, everything, offensive line is by far their largest weak point. So they have a lot of work to do. And with Billy O's offense, there's a lot of movement there. So they're going to need to come together pretty quick. They also, looking at their schedule, the first few games they're playing some decent, some really good defensive fronts between Philly and the Jets and things like that within the first 3 to 5 games. So it'll be a challenge for them right off the bat. And they haven't had their in theory their full 5 yet, right? Because Cole Strange hasn't played a preseason game yet. And so they haven't got everybody on the field as of right now, but it'll be interesting to see how much they play. The full 5 will play on Friday night against Tennessee. So, I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm also wondering how much Vrabel is going to try to beat the ever-living crap out of that offensive line and really just, try to hammer the Pats a bit on that. I think it's Vrabel, so I feel like he always enjoys sticking it to the Pats for sure. So I foresee that happening, definitely. Back to the earlier point, though, in question for our Wheel of Fortune panel here, is would that have happened, the cancellation of the rest of the game with 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, if that was a regular season game? I'm just looking for your thoughts and opinions on that.
No. It wasn't the same situation as Hamlin, right? Is that his last name from Buffalo last year?
Yep.
Hamlin, yeah.
Hamlin was dead on the
out
field
before
they brought him back. He wasn't knocked out. He was dead.
Right.
So, and that's a point one of my shorts that I did this week on one of the rants was the concussions. And with all the new rules, all the new equipment, I feel like there seems like there's more head injuries than there were before, or they stop the game all the time now for any little thing. I know they have the doctor up top that's supposed to take a player off the field, but it seems like we have more of the guys laying on the field being knocked out than we did way back when they didn't care as much about it.
Well, I think one thing that happens sometimes is when there's a spotlight on something, it becomes more noticeable. You become more aware of the fact that it's happening. I'm sure before all of the new equipment came into play and everything, you watch the game, a guy's down on the field, your first thought isn't concussion necessarily, but now it's been so talked about and so widely publicized that I think that's where it becomes the issue right away. Like people are just like, oh, he's holding his arm, but they're like, I don't know, he also got his head knocked off on that one too, so it could be a concussion. So I think a lot of it is just that there's a spotlight on it. To answer Scotty's question, I don't think they would have canceled a regular season game for what happened, but I think they made the right call on the preseason game. It was really chippy, that game, and obviously the Packers and the Pats don't like each other, which I love. But for a preseason game, there's no need for anybody else to get even remotely hurt if it's going in that direction. And I think there was an opportunity to end the game, and I think they made the right decision.
Well, that's so they canceled the joint practices this week with Tennessee. Other teams has canceled their joint practices. I think they're finding out that these joint practices, the teams are getting very chippy with each other during the week, and it goes into the game even more. So they like the joint practices because they feel like they get more out of them. But this has been an ongoing trend the last few seasons where there's like big, huge brawls in these joint practices every year. So I don't know if they're going to be doing them as much going forward after this season.
Well, and the injuries start to kick in the 17-week season. Are they going to start? And they were talking about this last year and the year prior, because this is going to be our third year with 17 games, correct? I believe.
Second.
This is only the second? Oh, okay.
Yeah, just last year that they added one.
Yeah.
So, but they're going to start to say our 3 preseason games is not enough. Right?
Not enough.
No, I think the only reason why they have preseason games is for the owners to make money. If it was up to the coaches, they would scrap them. Look in college; they don't play any preseason games in college.
Right.
They just go right into the regular season. So I don't think that the players or the coaches would care one bit if they scrapped them. It's all money. That's all.
It depends on the coach. I think that depends on the coach, though, because you got to think about it. Like, it's different in college compared to the NFL, because in the NFL, you start off with between 75 and 80 guys, and you cut down to 53, right? So there are guys out there, undrafted guys and things, that are trying to make teams. This is their opportunity to do so. And, with the NFL, it's a lot different when, even in college, obviously somewhat if a guy's going to take a hit and he's going to be fine. In the NFL, you don't really know that until you get on the field and you get popped. Is he going to be the guy or not? You know what I mean? And you've seen that a lot with a bunch of different, like, high profile players to, undrafted players and so on and so forth. So I think it's the biggest thing from my takeaway was that I agree with Adam that it was definitely the right thing to do at that point. My only thought was, is how prominent is this going to become during, like, the season? And the NFL, because it was week 18, right, last year, when Hamlin got hurt, they didn't obviously make up the game. They didn't even count the game for the Buffalo game. So are they going to institute some kind of a ruling, or is there going to be some kind of a change there if they start making this more prominent? Right. And it's a thought. I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to desensitize the situation at all. That's not the case. I obviously want people to be healthy and keep playing and everything, but it's just something that's interesting to watch especially for this season as it moves forward, and how the NFL not only works it at the time, but also then in the future, like how does it handle it? Let's say this is it's week 12 and both teams are, a game out of the postseason, you know what I mean? Or whatever it is. And it's tight, and they're in a tight postseason race, stuff like that. How are they going to work that? And things like that. So it'll be interesting to see how it all kind of plays out as the season progresses, for sure.
The one thing about eliminating the preseason, it's funny because you hear Belichick and when Brady was here, he used to talk about this a lot. They'd be mid-October and they'd be talking about, well, we're not a fully formed team yet. We don't even know what we have yet. Mid-October. So you're, what are you, like 4 or 5 games into the season already? And so it makes me wonder, like a coach like Belichick, who probably still has quite a bit of sway over the league, if he's one of these guys that's like, no, I want to keep preseason games because this is where I can find out what I have and who's going to start for me and who's going to be on my practice squad that I might be able to pull off if we have any injuries early in the season, that type of thing. So it always makes me wonder, because Belichick's one of those guys, right? I mean, he's one of those guys that's tweaking stuff, and they hit their stride, when they were good, they would hit their stride
December.
In December. Exactly. So I don't know if he would be in favor of it. I mean, for me, I don't even really care about watching the games. Quite honestly, I could care less. I mean, I did watch the game, the Packers game, but
look at Scotty's face.
I think Belichick is one of those ones that
you meant regular
love to
season
get rid of
football.
him.
He's like, what?
Yeah.
Oh no, regular season. I love regular season football.
I think Belichick would be one that would definitely get rid of preseason.
Oh really?
I don't know. Where do you get that from, though? I don't see that. Belichick has more undrafted players. I think he's actually had he's like a record of. He's kept an undrafted player on his roster for like the last 5 seasons in a row or something like that, or like a new undrafted player. It might be longer than that. But so I want to know, Billy, why do you think that's the case? I've never heard him come out.
They see more during practice than they do during these games. These games don't. They're going up against other. If it's a fringe player, he's going up against another third or fourth stringer on the other team. He probably knows 50 of his players already right now. Like there's probably two to 4 players that he's not sure of to making the club right now. He probably already knows 50
out
least
of
50
80
of the
guys.
players. Yeah,
You think so? Out of 80 guys, there's only 2 decisions he has to make.
yeah.
Wow.
I don't know.
I'd be shocked if that's true.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. And I mean, I look at it this
Well,
way.
I've heard it on the radio from guys that are down there all the time that talk with Belichick. So that's the only reason why I'm saying it. I'm not pulling it out of my ass.
I'm not touching that.
Yeah, don't touch the
my only thought
strawberry.
was,
Don't
That's a
touch
good
the
idea.
strawberry.
Don't touch the strawberry.
Think about if we didn't have preseason game, would we have ever heard of Julian Edelman? Julian
Right.
Edelman in a preseason game returned a punt for a touchdown. And there's the video of Belichick. He, asked Ernie Adams, who's the guy that replaced, or that Lou Gehrig replaced, which is Wally Pipp.
Yeah,
Right.
Pip.
And he went over to
Yep.
Welker and he's like, you ever hear of Wally Pipp? And he's like, no. And he's like, he's the guy that Lou Gehrig replaced at first base. And then Gehrig went on
right.
to play
Yeah.
the,
Yep.
the consecutive games until Cal Ripken broke that or whatever. And of course, Welker was like, he's like, oh, you know about little guy there? Just return the punt. And he's like, he can have it. And of course, Belichick's great quote at the very end. He's like, way to compete. He's like, that's nice. Way to compete, yelling back at Welker. But like, the preseason gives these guys like that, a 7th round pick like Welker and other guys opportunities,
stage. Yep.
even in practice. I'm sorry, I don't think if you have that happening in practice, it's not the same as being able to do it during a game. So I don't know. I still think preseason games they do matter I think a lot of the coaches in the NFL, and I don't think they'll ever get rid of them. To answer your point there, Tim, is I don't think they'll ever get rid of them. Whether they cut them down to like 2 games or something like that, that's a possibility. But I don't see them ever going away.
Yeah, same.
Well, so from a spoiled standpoint, I do love the preseason because we get Bob Sochi and Scott Zolak.
Me too. Yeah.
Zoe on TV. Like
Zoe's amazing.
Yeah, he just shows up like your drunk college roommate.
Yes.
And he just like, give me a microphone. I'm calling this game. And it's just it's fat. It's a pleasure to watch.
Zoe and I had the exact same reaction when Mac Jones did the first RPO. We both lit, oh my God, it's an RPO. That's what he's been wanting to do for 2 seasons.
He's awesome. I love them so much. I mean, that would be one of the coolest things ever. And you can see, because you can't really hack it. I know people try to put the radio on and then time it with their television and all that kind of stuff.
Nowadays,
it's too difficult to try to do that, but it's so awesome to listen to them. And it's rare that we're listening because we're usually in front of the TV. But I love preseason because they call the games, and it's so good.
I got a chance to meet Bob Sochi at a company event that I went to years ago down in Foxborough, and it was funny. It was him and Danny Amendola with the 2 folks that were like the guest speakers or whatever. You get to, they had an interview, and Bob was interviewing Danny or whatever. And then afterward, because I was with the CIO of a company, got a chance to chat with both of them a little bit. Everyone was talking to Danny. Everyone like flocked to him. I went right to Sochi, of course,
Oh my God, that's
and
amazing.
wanted to talk to him because I love Bob. I mean, he's got like my dream job, play-by-play for the freaking Pats. Are you kidding me? Like 6 to midnight. I'd be there in a heartbeat. And
6 to midnight.
And just talking to him and just ask him a couple of questions around like working with Zoe and how what does it work like working for the crafts and stuff. And he was so nice and so like just down to earth and just such a chill dude. It was amazing. And he even noticed it about 10 minutes into our conversation. He goes, I just realized that it's just the 2 of us. Everyone is surrounding Danny. I don't know if I should take that as an insult or as a compliment from you. And I just started laughing. He was great. It was really, really cool to have a conversation with him. And I totally agree, Timmy. That is the highlight of the preseason is having them on there. That and the craft productions with the little pink tie that at the very beginning of each one.
Yep.
Love that.
Can I play audio without us getting screwed?
What's the audio?
It's the audio of him making that call.
I'm gonna pour some more gin, and you go ahead and play it.
Yeah, I think you can play it. I think you can play it.
This one of Janina's absolute favorite calls. This was against the Saints when he made the call for Brady. I hope the audio here is good.
I've heard this one before.
Oh my gosh, so good. Hang on.
You can keep your Manning. That's a different one.
And Tompkins left. Brady throws it to the end zone for Kenbrell. Tompkins leaping. He's got it! Touchdown! Patriots! Kenbrell Tompkins! Brady's back! That's your quarterback! Who left the building? Unicorns! Show ponies! Where's the beef?
Unicorn show ponies. Where's
amazing.
the beef? It's one
What
of
is
the
he even
best. It's one of
talking
the
about?
best calls
He has
ever.
no idea. He's hammered.
Yeah, he's got to be. They just got to be sliding him natty lights. Just let him finish. Just
Yeah.
let him
He's-
finish.
Yeah.
He's
Oh
like
my
that.
God,
He's
that's
like
Natty
that on
Light,
his
too. He's like he's
on
the
his
John Daly
show
of the
during the
broadcast.
day.
Yeah, I mean
my
he's afternoon drive with
He's a-
Bertrand.
he's a
yeah.
He's a
Oh,
dog
he's
with,
mids. He's
with
mids with
squirrels.
Bertrand. Yeah, he's so good. That's
I
one of my
love him.
favorite calls ever.
That's a good one.
so
And
many.
that was a great game too. That was a fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, he has so many. Like one of my favorites is like, you can keep your Manning. I'll take my Brady. Just like, just absolutely just unhinged and just going. And it's just, yeah. There's so many great calls from Zoe, and I mean, Sochi's just along for the ride a lot of the times. You know what I mean? It's just absolutely amazing. It reminds me of like, you talk about like people that worked with Madden. Right, where Madden would just go on and boom, do the thing, and like Michaels or Summerall would just be there. Okay,
Yeah, Summerall was just like,
nothing
yeah.
to do. You're just along for the ride.
Yep.
It's pretty.
Keep your
amazing.
hands and feet
That's
inside
the
of the
thing
line at all
that
times.
I miss with football is that we don't have home broadcasters for.
Yes. Yes.
Except
Yeah,
for
I
video.
have the
ever
I have
know?
the NBA League Pass, during the Celtics season, and
Yep.
it's amazing because I mean I know you guys have, it's down here. I don't get the NBC Sports Boston, so I have to do it that way. But
Yep.
it's just so much more fun watching the games when it's somebody that you love, that you're
Mm-hmm.
connected to, that knows the area, knows the players really well. Instead of these guys that come in once a week, on Sunday, and they interview them the night before, and they'll be like, in our meeting last night, blah blah blah. It's like it's kind of boring, and
I
it's much
love
more fun.
Walter.
Yes.
That's it, base dummy. We love you.
It's so good.
Speaking of which, we do have to at some point this Celtics season, which I don't want to get ahead of ourselves because it's still August, but
Let's
we
get
have to
ahead of
talk
ourselves.
about Mike Gorman because he's
Yeah.
going to be retiring this year.
Stepping away.
This is last year.
Yes.
This is the last one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolute legend.
So we should do a Mike Gorman tribute show.
Who do you
was
think-
on- This may not be official, because he's kind of hanging on, thinking that they're gonna win one. He wants to go off with them winning one, and he's probably like 99% sure he's gonna retire after the season. But I think there's still a 1% chance that if for some reason they don't win it this year, he may do a little less of a schedule, just Saturday games or at home or something, but hang on just enough that he can still be part of a championship.
I love how Rubber Shoes reports this stuff like he's in the locker room, right?
He
Like,
is.
I love it.
I hear it from
and
them
Gorman, we've been
on the
talking.
radio.
I love it.
Or my wife tells me because she has it on the radio. She has it on
Steph's
the
got it
radio
cranked
all
while
day.
she's painting
love
the
it.
trim in his studio. Yeah. God bless her.
Amazing.
Anyways, we can talk
Absolutely
about Gorman a
amazing.
lot.
Mrs. Shoes just said it was out of Gorman's mouth on the radio
Oh,
himself.
okay. All right.
Eight years.
So no inside information here. That's too bad.
I know we were actually just talking about the Celtics last night because it's NBA 2K is already coming out. 24 is coming out September 8th, so 2 weeks from
Yeah.
Friday. Which, by the way, Madden 24, save your money. It's not
Oh.
very good.
Interesting.
It's not.
So when we got to campus, Bubba's roommate had just
Oh yeah, we
grabbed
didn't
it.
even talk about that. Yeah.
He had just grabbed it, and he said, he was indifferent about it because it's just, is it just a roster update?
There are minor tweaks, like you have like little mini games and stuff like that you can play, but the UI is identical. There are very small nuances within the gameplay itself, but yeah, it's just a roster update for the most part. It's so disappointing. I read some other things that folks are saying that EA is essentially waiting for NCAA to come out next year, and then they're gonna like do a whole like change with Madden, because in theory you're supposed to be able to take your NCAA player and move them into the Madden, and whatever. So it's a whole thing there that we'll see. I don't know. I buy it every year because it's football, and I gotta have a football video game, and Nathan would probably stand over my bed with like a sharp object if I didn't have Madden. Like the
Sure,
latest
I get
version,
that. I get that.
while I slept. So, but it's super disappointing. It really, I was sorely disappointed. Graphics look great, but it should on the, if you call them next gen engines, whatever you want to call them now,
Sure.
On the PS5s and stuff. But yeah, it's just, it really is. It's just a, You know, it's just like repainting Rubber Shoes' room. You know what I mean? He's still going to put all that shit back in there. You know, lovely shit. Though. Lovely
No,
shit.
we're gonna. It'll look different when it's.
Getting
Oh my
remodeled.
God, I'm so excited for this.
I'm so excited now. By the way, is that a Michael Myers face behind you with the Santa Claus hat?
Yep.
Yes.
Moving on.
Wow.
Moving on.
Of course.
That tracks.
We have nothing else to discuss with that. That's
That
it.
tracks.
Don't you have one in your house, Scotty?
No. Why would I have a Michael Myers?
That's
That's
what
what
it's
the
got.
Oh no.
What is happening? What is that?
Oh, leave it on. Leave it on. Yes.
amazing.
This is for my
What
paint
is
your
that?
face or not paint your face rant.
Oh my God.
You guys don't follow the ATB channel, do you?
It's,
I
I'm
must have missed that
subscribed.
one.
You
Want
just
other
go back
people
and
to
watch
follow it?
Unsubscribe.
Unsubscribe.
You want other people to subscribe?
We just
Oh my
lost
God.
4 of our 5 users.
Just right now, Rubber Shoes. Just pick up all the props that you've used over the last week on your YouTube Shorts, and let's see them. Is that the only one you've used? I know the jerseys too, but
That's the only one I just bought just for a thing this week.
oh, that's an
He's
investment.
He's dipping
More
into the
than
capital budget.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, there goes the
Speaking of
Christmas party.
Speaking of like budget, are we? Are
We were
you
gonna go to
thinking, Billy-
Mohegan and everything.
Speaking of budget, are you thinking, Billy, you're disappointed now that the Red Sox didn't make any? At first, like last week we were
Oh.
talking, it looked good that the Sox hadn't made any
Transition.
moves and spent any money, but now this Houston series has come out and has just been
Yeah.
atrocious.
Well, I
These last two
jokingly
games.
sent a text out to everyone with, Urias hit the second grand slam and 2 pitchers. So I was like, oh, I guess Heim Bloom did know what he was doing. And
You
and they
should
played a real
go
team.
Sit and watch games with Cheryl because she texted me at the same time you texted me. She was so excited about the home run. Yep.
I was shirtless over her house.
What?
How do we?
You were what now?
What?
I'm just seeing if you're paying attention.
You were what? Shirtless over her house.
Go ahead, Timmy. This one's yours.
What's happening?
By the way, I texted. I gotta get
Nope.
off at
Skate
6, by the
back.
way.
Skate
Yeah, I
back.
was gonna say you can't brush over
It's
that
a
one.
joke. I would never take my shirt off over her house.
Again.
Again. Yeah. Not in the same month. I'll be back in September. Holy shit.
All joking aside, I think that would be a great YouTube channel. Is Rubber Shoes and Cheryl watching the Red Sox together? That would be amazing.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh, just mic them up. Just mic them up.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
can't. It won't happen because I gotta watch it live. She has to watch it recorded.
Oh, boy.
Well,
Nah,
you can watch a replay of it, Rubber Shoes. It would make
Those
it
are fighting
magical.
words. I guarantee she's going to be live. She'll be live. It's the Houston series. She's live tonight. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Well, Rubber Shoes will be shirtless and pantless, so we're all good.
I'm going to play hockey. So
Shirtless and pantless? That sounds
Sure.
painful.
no.
Sounds dirty.
Sounds cold.
When
Where were
Yeah.
we? Red Sox? Is that
we're,
what
we're on the Red Sox, yes.
we get?
Shirtless
By the way,
rubber
let me
shoes.
ask you. We had a debate. My brother and my buddy Chris Chernick and I had a debate the other night of what did you guys think after they swept the Yankees? They were in the locker room like pouring beer on each other. It was the
geez.
weirdest like celebration. I'm like, what do you do? You look stupid.
Yep.
Like I get you swept them, and yeah, that's the Yankees, and the fact that they're like sinking faster than the freaking Titanic, which I love. But at the same time, you like, what are you doing? You didn't win the division. You didn't win anything. You're still in fourth. Like, what's happening? I just want to get
Now
your thoughts.
they're 5 games out of the last wild card spot now.
Is it 5?
Yeah, 4.5. Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? When did we get to the point where we're that's what we're celebrating in the locker room? I guess is my question.
Today.
It's like all those idiots that are. Well, I better not say it out loud. Sorry.
Say it.
Oh, go ahead.
No, because I don't. The people that still sit there and yell "Yankees suck" out of the bleachers.
Yeah, at a game that the Yankees aren't at. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Wow, that's ridiculous. They should
Yes.
not say
Yeah.
that. Absolutely agree.
I mean, they say it when the game is when they're playing the Yankees. Absolutely.
Well,
But
yeah, that's
not
one
when they're not
thing.
playing them.
No, they say it at almost every home game. They're
Yeah,
yelling
stupid.
that out
Only
there.
time that I think that's acceptable is if they showed like a score, right? If they show like
Right,
a score,
right,
and
right,
like,
right.
the Yankees are
Yep.
losing to the Twins like 7-2, and they just lost. That's fine, whatever.
Right.
But outside of that, yeah, it makes no sense. Absolutely makes no
Well,
sense.
it's also
4.5.
I also find it ridiculous when a team is like, the Red Sox are in second to last place in the AL East and out of the wild card right now, and we're talking about other teams that suck. Like, maybe look in the mirror and I don't know. I don't want you to chant Red Sox suck, but they kind of do.
So do we? I mean, who's losing their job?
Everybody.
I think Cora will
Cora's-
quit after this season. I don't know if he'll get fired. I think he'll quit. I think he's done.
Okay.
I'd love to see Tech take that job. By the way,
That would be a good hire. I would love that.
I'd love to see Bloom lose his job, and I think that definitely could happen. But I don't know.
I just don't. It doesn't seem like the ownership group really cares.
No.
Yeah, no, they don't.
They've
don't.
checked out.
They're still making money. They don't care.
Yeah,
And we're above 500, so they're like, maybe nobody loses their job unless Cora does leave, but on his own volition. But
I mean, if they're only 5 games out of they're not 5 games out of the last wild card spot.
Yes.
They're
four and
4
a-
games.
Yeah, 4.5
4 games.
out of the
4.5.
last
Okay.
wild card spot.
right,
Okay. So there's still a chance, right?
Oh my
I
God.
mean, it's not a good
We're
chance,
having
but
this
there's
conversation.
Well,
still a
they
chance.
play. They have 2 more games against Houston. They play the Dodgers this weekend, and then they play Houston next week. We'll see where they are after they play that last game against Houston next week.
Of all people, Rubber Shoes, I thought you would feel really good about the Red Sox chances only being 4.5 out with this much time left. There's still plenty of time left to catch up.
There is. They're not mathematically eliminated yet.
Right. And like you said, I mean, I know they are not doing that great against the Astros, but if they win their next couple, next few games against them, could be a different thing altogether, right? I'm the only optimistic one here. That's probably because I don't watch enough
I'm
baseball.
96 wins, Adam. I'm the optimistic one.
96. What are we at? I didn't even look at the.
Not 96.
56,
58. What are we? 58, 62,
66.
66. Okay. All right.
30 more wins.
30 more wins.
So
30
move
more.
off,
Is this-
So you're
We're in
saying there's a
striking
chance.
to move off
30,
the depressing.
how many do they have left? So they have to go 30 and what for you to be right, Tim? 30 and 2.
30 and 2.
If they do that, you have to watch the game
They
shirtless
probably
with my
have.
mother.
So I'm not looking at anything, but so the end of September. So they probably have 40, 45 games left, probably around there.
Oh, there's a chance. There's a
Yeah.
chance.
Yep.
They have
You're
to go
saying
30 and
there's a
16.
chance.
Rubber shoes and Cheryl sitting on the back deck, Bentley Lane. He's got his shirt off.
Rubber Shoes is shirtless,
Yep. Yep.
straddling a strawberry.
Oh my God. It's a lot, lot
Strawberry
going
is
on.
too wide to straddle.
Probably more than Cheryl needs in her backyard. Yep. Yep.
The neighbors are looking over like, what
He's
is
too wide to
happening?
straddle, which means he's attempted to straddle it.
It's like it's
Look at
Yep.
the head.
almost
He's
it's
more and
almost
more.
6 feet wide.
Oh,
All right.
Rubber Shoes. You could.
I can't do a split.
You could mount that strawberry, no problem. Rubber Shoes. Come on.
If I deflate it a little bit, I could,
Oh my
bend
God.
it a little bit.
Deflate it. Oh man, Rubber Shoes. I love it. When do you close your pool, Rubber Shoes? Usually.
Probably the next. I am probably not going back in it. It's
Oh.
too
Not
cold.
cold.
for me.
Get a heater.
Are you propane, Scotty, or are you what
No, it's
kind of
electric.
heater is it?
It's electric.
Electric. Okay.
Woogie woogie woogie.
Yep, there you go. By the way, so Tim, you dropped off the oldest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And visited, like, from what I could tell from all the social media posts, like 17 stadiums. Like, you went all over the map, dude. What was your favorite
So-
location? I love Janina doing it, by the way. It's phenomenal. And I love the
Also-
little comment she put in that she's already scheduling the next, like, trip. And she's like, TCL loves it.
Oh yeah, yep. Go
So,
ahead, Rubber Shoes. What are you gonna say?
I'm friends with her on the Strava app, and she posts every
Strava? What is
stadium. So
Strava?
So I think it was this morning at the gym. I had to like 20 different of her posts.
When her and Francis walked the loop around the stadium. So
Which stadium?
so all of them, all of them.
Yep.
If we're going on any road trip, she figures out what's nearby. She's got a whole map of the country. She has the ones that we've got to go to, the ones that we've been to for a game, and the ones that they've walked a lap around. And her and Francis are just checking boxes. Go ahead.
Sorry, quick question. When you say nearby, what is nearby?
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Cincinnati isn't near Chicago.
So Janina. If you know, truckers have like a radio name, a handle.
Yeah.
She is Janina Longcut Lindsay. Yeah. So we left. Yeah. So we left. So Lake Forest is north of Chicago, right? Saturday we have the farewell lunch. We're driving, and we go from there to, where do we go to first? I apologize.
I saw Chicago Bears on that.
Yeah, we went into Chicago. Of course, we stop at you. I'm texting with Corey, by the way, and he's like, "How's it going?" I said, "We just said farewell." I said, "We're parked at the United Center," and of all days, because she usually nails it pretty good. Like, we'll get there and it's super quiet. They have full access. When we were in Tennessee last summer, and Grace and Aiden wanted to tour the university, it was 110 in the shade. On the way off campus, we stopped over at the Vols, and it was open because they were reimagining the upper ring and putting up the new Vols and all that stuff. And as Francis and Janina were walking around, they ran into a guy, and he's like, "Are you looking for somebody?" And she's like, "No, we're just checking it out, taking pictures." He goes, "Do you want to come inside?" So if you go back to last July, they went in and got tons of pictures. She also got into
That's amazing.
a couple other places. We just stopped at Cincinnati on the way through the Bearcats, and because campus only had the new students, really cool. There's a road that goes right by one of the corners, and we pulled right in. She literally pulled into a parking spot, and then it was like in at like probably Putnam level at Gillette, and they walked in and walked around the stadium.
That's insane.
So if you look
That
at
must have been
if you
amazing.
look at her Facebook right now, all the pictures, that's all the stuff we hit. So it's just to your question, what is nearby? This is a running joke with one of the guys here. One of our agents, Chris Denon, is hysterical. We have a term called the drivable bowl game, right? Because we always joke about that when BC, finesses their way into the Cheez-It Bowl, which we haven't been to ever, which I'd love to go to. Hi, Nabisco. How are you? Not a sponsor yet.
Oh.
So,
Please be a sponsor.
Denon's like, for your wife, a drivable bowl game is anywhere in the continental U.S., right? So she's a maniac with it. And does it add hours to our drive? 4,000%. Is it forced
but
family
that's
fun
fun,
time?
though.
Yes. But I'm the passenger princess. Like, I'm just riding shotgun. I got to show you guys this note. She died because the whole trip down and the whole trip back, like on the way down, Aiden was watching The Godfather, and he and I both just started Suits, which I know has been on forever and
I
is
love
already over.
Suits. I'm watching
Season
Suits right now,
Season
too.
2.
Suits is
Yes,
so good.
I'm on season 3.
I'm
This is my
finishing
fourth
season.
time through.
I'm finishing season 2 right now. It's so good.
I love it.
Episode 11. Damn.
So we're all locked and loaded on social media or whatever, and I'm TikToking because I'm a maniac. I got a text yesterday. We're coming out of Pennsylvania, and I got a text from T-Mobile that said, we have unlimited, but they always send you that message that you already crushed what you had. I went through 50 gigs of data on the trip.
What?
Janina, mind you, has the phone mounted in the rental car, right? Because we rented a Tahoe because we had to get all of his stuff in there. Yeah. And she was streaming Sirius XM to the HUD, and she was also running Waze to CarPlay, right?
Yeah, okay. But that's not that much.
She's running Waze and streaming Sirius for the entire trip. And she finished the trip at 40 gigs.
Oh my God.
I Tim talked 50 gigs.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
And she goes, "Are you going to get shut off?" I said, "No, they'll throttle you down if you get into congested areas." But I said, "I'll be back at the office tomorrow."
So you'll be on Wi-Fi.
It's gonna be fun. Yeah, I'll be fine. I'll be Tim talking again as soon as I get home tonight. Yes.
So the important question is,
I apologize. Yes.
No,
there was a
it's
question in there
amazing.
somewhere.
I love hearing the tales of going to different stadiums because I think that's one of the coolest things you guys do. Because I haven't been to enough. I would love to get to more. But my main question is, were there tiers on the drop-off?
Yeah. So I think the expectation of how brutal it was going to be might have been bigger than what I thought. Here's the thing for sure, though. Is Rubber Shoes leaving? What's happening?
Yeah, I gotta go.
He's got to get out.
Oh, you're going to Hockey World.
Yep.
All right, brother.
Peace out.
Wear pants.
Stay safe, buddy. Stay safe.
Wear pants.
Hold on.
I wish he left the camera on. That's more fun when he leaves the camera on.
No, because if he stood up, he didn't have any pants on. I'm glad he shut the camera off.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh,
we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. What was I going to say? Yeah, I think I'd played it over in my head so many times of how brutal it was going to be.
Yeah.
That it wasn't although.
Might be too much. I'm sorry I brought it up.
Give me a second. No, it's good. We're walking. So she's behind. We're leaving the dorm. I said to him, because his roommate, Ryan, was still in the dorm. And I said, why don't we head to the car? Because I don't want to do this in front of people because I knew I was going to lose it, right?
Yeah.
So she goes to the ladies' room. Francis is wandering. I don't know where he is. I think he was waiting for mom. And it's just he and I walking to the car. Slowly, quietly, not a word. Classic Irish Catholic relationship. And we're coming up and what do I see behind we're walking to our rent-a-car, which is over here. And on the left-hand side of the parking lot is a father saying bye to his son. Oh, that's all I needed. It was all I needed. I'm like, you mother truckers. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is killing me. And he turns around so smug. He goes, you're really going to miss me. And I'm like, yeah, buddy. Yes! He was stoic. And what's really funny is Francis, when Aiden was graduating out of the K through 8 in Stratford, and he was class president and he was about to make his speech, and Francis turned. Francis was always infamous for, I'm not emotional, but he'd be crying, right? And he turned to us that night in the gym at the K through 8 in Stratford, and he goes, I don't know if I can handle this. I have to leave the room.
Wow.
Which was real, and that was only knowing that he was going to be at the K through 8 for one more year while Bubba went to Co-Brown to be a freshman.
Right.
So I thought for sure there'd be more emotion around this. And it's funny, like as the summer was ending and Bubba was, because Bubba didn't work during school. He only worked after school finished. He got a job at that 7 Seas in Stratford. And he would, if time permitted, he would leave there and go to Grace's house, or Grace was over our house. So it was almost like there was a rehearsal for us not really having time with him.
Yeah.
Because she was always with us, or he was always there. And anytime that Bubba was at work, Francis would go out and audition his office. Because Francis now has 2 75-inch TVs. So now he's sprawling out on the couch in the living room. Yeah, so now he's got the whole house. Him and the cats are probably home packing a bowl right now. I don't know what's happening. But, you never know. You never know. He's a senior now.
Coming over.
Yeah, he's a senior now. So,
Get ready.
So in the grand scheme of things, I thought he'd be more emotional. He was super stoic.
Oh, wow.
And Bubba held, and Janina cried, and I cried, and they held it. Now, I think if I'm an 18-year-old boy, and I'm just dropped on campus, it's my first time away from home, I'm celebrating that.
Yes.
And
it's not sad for them.
He's been doing all orientation stuff. He also found out from one of the upperclassmen on the Lax team that they are the president of one of the 3 frats. So he's probably going to be a frat boy too.
Okay.
Because that seems to be coming.
Nothing wrong with that.
I know. Janina's like, oh dear God, here we go. So he's going to be a frax boy. And then yesterday he told us that he was going with some of the upperclassmen today. He went to Lake Bluff. If you look it up, it's the next town above Lake Forest, Lake Bluff, and he went and played 18 today. This course looks gorgeous, Scotty. And it was, I believe, online it says $35 with fees and cart for 18.
Wow.
He said, he goes, I think because we're not members, it'll be 44. Go look at that course, bud, when you get a chance. Lake Bluff.
Well, it's the Midwest. Everything's a lot cheaper in the Midwest.
I'm so glad you brought that up. So after we got there and we realized a little thing, I forgot this. Can I get that? Can I get this? So I immediately add him to the Amazon account, and we're drop shipping everything, right?
Yeah, sure.
There is sales tax in the state of Illinois.
Oh.
Which is just when you haven't been dealing with it is so annoying.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
It's really
What is it? Is it 6%, 7%?
I have no idea. I have no idea
okay.
I have no idea what they're
You
charging.
just noticed that it was more expensive than what you put in the
I just
cart.
noticed tax got applied. I'm like, wonderful.
Yeah.
But no, all is good. So yeah, it wasn't as brutal as I thought. Still wasn't great. But there's gonna be the moment like in the next week or so where I'm gonna yell his name at the house.
Yeah.
And forget that
Yep.
he's not there. And
Right.
he's not somebody's like, he's back for Columbus Day. I'm like, no, Columbus Day, they do have an extended break Columbus Day, but they also have a tournament they're going to.
So is lacrosse for men's lacrosse? Is it a fall sport?
No, it's spring, but they've got some fall tourneys they're playing, and then they'll do some box over the winter, which is indoor.
Yeah.
And then it kicks in the spring.
So he's basically gone until Thanksgiving.
He's back for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And then after that, we'll probably
is
see
he
him.
gonna drive to you, or are you gonna? Is he gonna fly?
No, he'll fly home. He'll fly home.
Okay. All right.
Take too long to drive.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yep. But
I love that. I love the story. I appreciate you being willing to share it on the show because, it's a rite of passage, and it sounds like you had a good, a good experience
good.
with it, and
Yep.
it's sad for you, exciting for him, and I think
So-
that's awesome.
the-
Doody cute poo.
I love that.
Exactly.
So
That's exactly
Janine
what
is
I
talking
thought.
about the next trip. Our next trip is early October. We're going like the third, I don't know, like the Tuesday to the Tuesday, wrapping around Columbus Day. Tuesday to Wednesday, I forget what it is. It's a stretch, but we're going to be down there. We're going down to the Sanderson Farms PGA tournament,
Oh,
which is in
cool.
Jackson, Mississippi. Which, if you look at it, the trophy's a chicken, and all the tee boxes are chickens. I know Scotty's seen it before.
That's amazing.
So the Sanderson Farms tournament is Columbus Day weekend down in Jackson, Mississippi. So we're making that trip. Francis is coming. Cheryl's going to load into the vehicle, and we're doing and we're going to be knocking off a bunch of stadiums.
We need some YouTube shots for that.
Yes, when Rubber Shoes was saying, I'm like, I don't want to abuse the shots right now with me not getting out of the car in all these stadiums. I'm busy working through my 50 gigs. I had work to do.
Here I am.
I had work to do.
I just want to say that I'm thrilled that you shared that. That's awesome. And I have one other question for you.
Yeah.
So you've probably never missed one of his lacrosse games, right? I would think. I mean, it may be like one off here or there, but I assume like the big games you've been to and everything. Will you go out for his games, or are they on TV?
His freshman year, obviously, there wasn't a freshman year, COVID.
Right, COVID. Yeah.
So then sophomore and junior year, I did all the home games. Senior year, I went to everything. We will not. Janina will probably get to more than I do.
Okay.
Because just to be expedient about it, it's gonna have to be fly in, fly out.
Yeah.
The good thing is,
Do they stream the games at all, or
everything
anything
is
that you
streamed.
can watch them?
Everything's streamed.
Oh,
So
perfect.
I've already made plans. Like there's either Wednesday or Thursday afternoon games and Saturday games. So I'm gonna do watch parties here on Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That'll
Because
be
we've
so
got
fun.
We've got a 75. We just put up a 75 inch in the Shark Tank. Scotty knows what I'm talking about. The pie room. Yeah, we just put a 75 up in there. So
Wow.
so we'll do some watch parties. I might get up for one or two, but Janina will probably see more than I do.
Yeah.
And it's his freshman year. He's probably not going to see the ice too much.
right.
We'll see.
Right.
We shall see.
The ice. I assume you meant the grass. Is that?
You know what I mean? Yes.
I
Yes.
gotcha. Yeah,
It's hockey. It's hockey on the grass. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes. All right, boys.
If I can just say one thing before I go, because well, two things before we go, and I know we're over our time, but I wanted to say because you were talking about the stadium tours that you're doing, and I just think that so everybody was talking about Caitlin Clark when she was just lighting the world on fire during the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
The Iowa women's basketball team just set a attendance record because they're holding a exhibition game in the football stadium at Iowa. Yeah.
No
Which is
way. That's
incredible.
amazing.
So they sold, I think there's seating for 87,000 people, and so far they've sold 50,000 tickets.
That's awesome.
So it's amazing. I thought that was
Love
crazy.
it. Love it.
And then Asia Wilson tied a WNBA record last night with 53 points. So 53 points in 40 minutes is pretty.
And did you hear what she said after? She said that she would love to take like a lot of the credit, but she's like, I would not be I think I'm not gonna misquote here, but she's like basically said that she wouldn't be here without her teammates. So
Yeah.
it was so humbling, and the way that she handled it was amazing. She did such an awesome job after.
Was it Asia
love
with
that.
the broom? Did you see the play with the
Yes.
broom where she started dancing with the broom?
She's a great. If you don't, you might not. People don't watch the WNBA all the time, but she is a player to watch. She's so fun to watch, and she just is out there just having a good time. You know, a lot of times this stuff gets taken so seriously,
Yep.
but she's out there dancing and doing all that stuff. So
That with
she's
the
really
broom
fun to
with the
watch.
broom was hysterical. And
Yes, it was
and
awesome.
the floor boy that gave her the broom is like watching and he just loses it.
Yeah.
But yeah, hysterical. Hysterical.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for the 2 seconds to talk about that.
All right, boys, we're up and out. Rubber Shoes is already banging the boards and banging his strawberry. That'll happen later, I'm sure. God help us
no.
as he closes the pool. Ava, one quick question. Who should lose their job? Heim Bloom or who should lose their job?
Alex Cora.
Or Alex Cora.
I'm Bloom or Cora. Yes, say it louder.
Yep.
Cora.
Yep.
There it is.
Smart. She's smart. She's
There
smart.
it is.
From her lips to God's ears. All right. For Scotty, for Rubber Shoes, and for Adam, my name is Tim. You can find us at atbshow.com. You can find all the shots you can shake a stick at YouTube, where we appreciate you. What's he going to wear tomorrow? Who knows? We have no idea. Rubber Shoes,
a
Wrap 'em
roll
and
of the
Rant, right
dice,
back at it first thing
honestly.
in the morning. So we appreciate if you like and subscribe and share, and of course, comment. We love the comments as well.
Yes, please.
We'll see you guys next week in and around the internets. Take care.